Finally, let us consider the most decisive and most general instance, which is considered only rarely because it is deeply embedded in our fundamental valuations. It seems to me that a vast number of life experiences that we enjoy derive their intensity from the fact that, for their sake, we leave unexplored innumerable opportunities for other enjoyments and for other ways of proving ourselves. A regal extravagance, a careless grandeur of existence, is revealed by the way that people ignore each other, or pass on after a brief encounter, by our total indifference towards many to whom we could give much and who could give much to us. But there also emanates from this unique value of non-enjoyment a new, enhanced and more concentrated charm in what we do actually possess. The fact that this one among innumerable possibilities has become reality gives it a triumphant tone. The shades of the untried, neglected richness of life provide its victor's retinue. Moreover, what is given to other people often derives its value from what is retained, or indeed resolutely withheld. A cordial expansiveness, especially towards those of lower status, loses its value if it goes too far, if one shows too little reserve. It is all the more important to the recipient that one even offers a part of oneself when he feels that one has still kept back something of oneself. In the last resort, it is the same with the significance of our own actions and undertakings. Sudden and compelling demands often make evident to us that we have abilities and powers for tasks that have hitherto seemed remote, that we have energies that would have remained latent if by chance an emergency had not elicited them from us. This shows that, besides the energies that are actually used, there are indeterminate potentialities which lie dormant in everyone, so that each person could have become something different from what he actually became. Life allows only a very limited number among these many possibilities to be realized. Consequently, these appear more significant and precious the more we understand that they are a selection from many, that many forms of activity remain undeveloped and have to be sacrificed in order to develop others. Since so many possible achievements have to be sacrificed for the sake of one particular accomplishment, the latter represents, as it were, the quintessence of a much wider range of life energies. By denying growth to these other energies, it acquires significance and sharpness, a tone of distinction and accumulated force, which makes it the focus and representative of our total personality, transcending the area with which it is directly concerned. Money may be subsumed under this general type of value formation. It is certainly correct that the other values of money's substance have to be discarded for the substance to become money, but the value that money has, and that allows it to perform its function, may be determined by those other possible uses which have to be foregone. As in the cases that we have just discussed, the perceived value of the developed function is constituted by its positive content and also by the exclusion of all other functions. What is effective here is not the operation of other functions, but the fact that they do not operate. If the value of any object is determined by the fact that something else is sacrificed for it, then the value of the money material is determined by giving up all its other uses so that it can become money. This kind of valuation is, of course, reciprocal, i.e., the value of the money material for other uses will also increase if its use as money is abandoned. The wampum of the North American Indians consisted of mussel shells, which served as money but could also be worn as a decorative belt. These functions are obviously correlated. The role of the shells as jewelry has acquired an air of distinction by virtue of the fact that it requires abstention from using them directly as money. This whole type of value may be regarded as an instance of scarcity value. This usually implies that an object is demanded by more individuals or in greater quantity than the supply is adequate to meet. If different needs that can be satisfied by the same object compete for it, whether these needs occur in a single individual or among several individuals, the situation is naturally affected by the restriction of the supply, which makes impossible the satisfaction of all the needs. Just as the exchange value of grain can be traced to the fact that there is not enough of it to satisfy all those who are hungry, so the exchange value of the money material is the result of the fact that there is not enough to satisfy all those needs for it additional to the need for money. So far from the renunciation of other uses reducing the value of the metal that is used for money to that of quite worthless materials, these unrealized uses of the material instead contribute largely to the value of money. The first argument against money as merely a symbol. There is another argument which seeks to convince us more directly than the one we have just refuted that money cannot be a value. Let us imagine an all-powerful individual with despotic authority within a given group over everything that he desires, one, for example, such as those chiefs in Oceania of whom it is said that they cannot steal because everything already belongs to them. Such an individual would have no occasion to seize the money of the group, since he can in any case take possession of everything that money can buy. If money were itself a value in addition to other available values, then he would desire it as much as those other values. If it is clear that this does not happen in the fictitious case that I have described, then it seems to follow that money is really only a representative of real values, and is unnecessary once the real values are attainable without money. But this simple idea presupposes what it wishes to prove, namely that the substance of money has no value of its own aside from its functioning as money. For if it had such value, it would be desired by the wielder of power not so much as money, but for its other value as a substance. If such a value does not exist, its absence does not need to be demonstrated again. Leaving aside its logical deficiency, however, this case illustrates what specific kind of value money has. Money has acquired the value it possesses as a means of exchange, if there is nothing to exchange. Money has no value. For obviously, its significance as a means of storing and transporting values is not of the same importance, but is a derivative of the function of money as means of exchange. Without the latter, the other functions could not be exercised, whereas its function as means of exchange is independent of them. Money has no value either for a person to whom the goods that it can buy are valueless, or for a person who does not need money to acquire them. In short, money is the expression and the agent of the relationship that makes the satisfaction of one person always mutually dependent upon another person.